Hello, everybody, and welcome back once more to Anime Yay or Nay. I am TheOutbackAl.
I'm Yin&Jung.
I'm Chibi Noob.
I'm Envy Jitters.
And I'm CheerandCosplay.
And we're back with more Merica month. This time we're leaving the country to be with Americans abroad in Black Lagoon. Because this was a weird one a little bit to pick because it's not set in America, but a bunch of people are American in it. So I went with it, and it's based on a lot of American action movies.
And what's more quintessential American than a bunch of Americans getting involved in different foreign countries?
Yeah, I mean, that is pretty
and
American.
Guns.
Yeah. Okay, so this show, who's seen or heard of this before?
Heard of it, hadn't seen it before this week.
Same.
Hadn't heard of it.
Had seen it, but hadn't heard of it.
Yeah. Had to Google
You
Black
thought
Lagoon anime just to make sure you weren't talking about the monster movie.
it would have been a little bit weird if I was, but, wouldn't that have been a thing? Maybe...
Does it not take place in America? I haven't seen it, I wouldn't know.
I'm trying to remember. I'm not sure. I guarantee you, I thought it was like an American expedition to South America or something, but I might be wrong. Regardless, we didn't watch that, though we probably should have. Just because, classics. Anyway.
Add it to the list.
Oh, you don't think it's already on there? So Black Lagoon is about a guy named Rock who's not American.
Nope.
But...
That's not even his real name at the start.
No, but three Americans turned pirate mercenaries in the South China Sea kidnap him along with nuclear secrets from his company, and thus starts our show.
I don't think Ravi is American.
No, she is. She's from New York.
Sure?
She's Chinese-American, and she murdered her father when she was 8.
Great. I heard her mention Chinese girl at one point.
Yeah.
I guess Chinese Americans exist.
Yes. A lot of things exist in America, whether or not the U.S. government wants to acknowledge it. So,
a lot of things that
was
said in this
such an easy
podcast
shot
over
to
the
make.
years. That so many things in this podcast that can be taken out of context. That line right there.
Yeah. Well, in any case,
it's okay. Our TikTok is still inactive, so I cannot take it out of context myself.
That's fine. We'll start YouTube Shorts at some point. So, yeah, he gets kidnapped by pirates, and they're holding him hostage, and he presumably gets Stockholm Syndrome. At least that's what he thinks is going on, when he decides, hanging out with these guys is actually pretty cool. I kind of want to hang out with pirates, saying that out loud, knowing that I know I probably don't ever actually want to meet a pirate in my life. But
well, I mean, it's get to hang out with a bunch of pirates and nearly die every day, or be a slave to corporate Japanese management as a salaryman, and you basically feel like you're dead. So
I mean, I think this is probably making him feel more alive.
Yeah.
To be fair,
I'll just let you. I have seen this show, and I've watched I think all that they had for it up to a point. And yeah, he very much is an adrenaline junkie to some degree. He embraces it a little bit more later on in the series, even though at no point does he ever really learn how to fight. So, yeah.
As you do.
But he has scary dog privilege in the form of Revy, so,
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. What did you guys think about this overall?
I enjoyed the hell out of it, personally. I know I say I'm going to continue watching shows, but I'm definitely going to continue watching this. I had a lot of fun with it. Is it stupid? Yes, but it's a fun type of stupid. And I watched the dub of it, so I'm just picturing Light in an alternate universe, where he wasn't a psychopath. He was just, an adrenaline junkie.
I'll say this. He does get some Light tendencies later, but it's not early on.
I also really liked it.
I would say that for me, I'm definitely intrigued. It's a little too early for me to definitely say but I am getting very, it's very reminiscent of a lot of, action shows that, my parents used to watch when I was younger, because they sort of, dealt with a lot of people who, were basically doing underground crime stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even remember what the names of the shows were, but those are just the vibes. And I used to sit there and watch them with my parents, so I just kind of felt like it's definitely going somewhere. And I feel like it's really only just getting started. I'm very intrigued by how everything is connected in this world, and just like who's allied with each other, who's not, and like, you know, sort of like whether or not they'll be working together with one group for a time, and then like based on how money changes hands and things, like whether or not they're suddenly going to be working with the people that they were just trying to kill not too long ago. So I would say definitely interested to see where it goes.
Yeah, I really liked this. I thought it was really exciting. It had good pacing. I thought the characters were super fun, and I liked their interactions with each other. And they had nice, like, downtime moments too, where you just got to see them like bond a little bit, like when they were drinking at the bar. And then they had really good action scenes. So I think as a whole, it was like watching a just fun action flick. You don't have to think too hard about it, but there's a lot going on in every scene. So I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I think that's probably what gravitated me towards it when I was initially watching. This came out in like 2006, which is, I do like a lot of shows that came out right in the mid-2000s, because that was right when I was really, really getting into anime. So this was a very fun one for me back then, and it still works now. I think these first 3 episodes are a good intro, but it doesn't get really interesting until later. There's a couple characters that you haven't met yet that really add a lot. And depending on, like, I have the list. And we've mentioned it a million times, and like there's a bunch of action movies on there. I don't know what everyone's like experience with a lot of different action movies are, but like if you guys know John Woo or Quentin Tarantino or Robert Rodriguez, apparently like the style of the manga and this were based a lot off of that. If you like Pulp Fiction, that's kind of where the comedy comes from a little bit. And yeah, is anyone following me at this point? Is anyone a John Woo fan?
I mean, I haven't seen any of his movies, so I can't really.
You haven't seen Face Off?
No, that's on the list.
Fuck you! You've made that joke to me a bunch of times, and you haven't seen. Oh, we need to stop the podcast right now. I'm coming right over to your house, and we're watching Face Off tonight.
All right, give me an hour.
No,
but yeah, I totally get what you're saying, but I will say, watching it, this is a weird comparison, but I kind of got Cowboy Bebop vibes in the sense of it's a motley crew that bicker and fight with each other all the time, and there's a new outsider that comes in, like Revy and Dutch were like the main two, kind of like Jet and Spike were, and then the third guy, I forget his name, he was there too, but then
Benny.
Rock comes in, like Faye and Ed were, so you get the weird dynamics between them.
I'm sorry, it feels rude to compare Rock the weenie to anyone from Cowboy Bebop. I think the comparison needs to end there, but I do agree with a lot of what you're saying. I think like even in the more realistic art style and that, like the animation looks different because I'm pretty sure it's a different company.
Well, it's funny. Well, yeah, it was Madhouse back in their glory days.
Yeah, and
they were doing this and Death Note around the same time.
So yeah, but it's like a little bit more updated, but I do like, the kind of realistic style, the kind of action stuff a little bit. I'm seeing, like, because I'm looking more closely at it, because I think I've watched this whole show twice. I'm seeing a couple spots where I'm like, okay, you're doing a couple tricks to cut some corners on the animation to make it a little bit cheaper, but at the same time, it still feels very dynamic whenever they're in a lot of these action scenes and that. And I'm just going to tell you now, this was probably one of their lower points as far as action goes. They actually go way over the top on a bunch of other things. So...
I mean, Revy can, even in the first 3 episodes, Revy multiple times shoots multiple people dead, wide out in the open, and nobody can shoot her, so they got the aim of stormtroopers. And you know what? That's just 80s action in a nutshell, or 90s action in a nutshell.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at the episode list. I mean, is there anything specific that you guys want to talk about? Or because I can gush over, like, some of the crazy stuff they were about to do, but...
I'm very interested to see, like, where this story goes with Balalaika.
Yeah.
She seems like a very interesting character. And I sort of want to see, like, where that plot thread goes. Mostly just because, I don't know, like, a lot of the other characters, seem to have very interesting things to say about her.
Oh yeah, she's awesome. As far as like a side character, potential villain, potential ally, you can never tell where anyone's going in the show sometimes, but yeah, she's awesome. I think there's a lot of people who are based on other people. There's another crime boss who works for the Triads named, I think it's Mr. Chen.
Yeah. It's either Chen or Chin.
I think it's Chang. Yeah. And he is based on Chow Yun-fat, who is one of John Woo's main like actors that he liked to work with. And him and John Woo essentially invented gun fu for cinema with like movies like Hard Boiled and some of the other action movies that they did back then. And he is just straight up that guy. And even Revy is kind of like doing the dual Beretta fighting thing that was his whole thing back then. It's like, it's nice like how many nods they give to like action movies and stuff like that.
I hear you, but I also see old school Tomb Raider vibes because you got the short shorts, you got the sexy girl with the dual pistols. That was the early days Lara Croft.
There's a couple points of inspiration, absolutely. But speaking of Tomb Raider, they go to they're raiding a sub, a broken down sub that's been trapped underwater for like decades in the next episode. So immediately we're going whole hog on some crazy stuff. And they're also going to murder a bunch of Nazis. So that's cool.
That was cool.
Yeah. Wait, did you read ahead? Watch ahead?
Oh. Yeah. I had nothing better to do, so I just let it keep going. I got to like episode 7 or 8.
Oh, okay. So you got to see the church too.
I liked the church. That was fun.
Yes, the Church of Violence. They're technically a Catholic diocese, but they're also gun runners.
That sounds accurate.
Yeah. But like, they're not trying to hide it anymore.
One of the nuns has an eye patch.
Yeah, Mother Superior.
She's very cool.
She's fun. Etta, the one nun, is a pretty regular character. I gotta say, for the first season though, the best little arc that they got is the one where the maid shows up, and anyone who's seen the show knows what I'm talking about. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's fucking insane what this woman does.
Looking forward to it.
Oh yeah. Episode 9. Absolutely beautiful. Trying to think of a couple other, like, they do go around, do a lot of different things. I kind of wish that it had continued, because they had this season, the second season, and then an OVA that was actually about the maid's backstory, which was pretty cool. Though at a certain point it gets a little, I don't know, I feel like the plot loses itself just a little bit, but I still think it works. The manga's actually still ongoing. So
For
now
Black
that
Lagoon?
now that I found that out, I might have to read ahead a little bit and see what they didn't put together.
Or see where it differs.
That too. I mean, there's always going to be something.
I mean, no. I guess my brain is thinking, because since this came out in the mid-2000s, at what point did they have to start making things up?
Well, this came out in 2006. The manga started back in 2002.
Okay.
So I don't think they deviated from the actual storylines in that.
Oh, that's good.
They also have a light novel that was written by Gen Urobuchi. I might have to look at that.
Why does that not surprise me?
No, it shouldn't. I mean, this show does go to some dark places. I'm pretty sure the manga does too. I mean, it's already murder. It has a very high body count to begin with, but...
I mean, I kind of figured, just based on... Granted, I've only seen the 3 episodes we needed to watch for this week, but the general gist makes it definitely seem like we're getting some darker stuff based on just some of the stuff with the characters.
Oh yeah, and we haven't even gotten to the 12-year-old murderous vampire twins yet.
Ooh, yeah! They're like the one main thing that I do remember when I heard about this show.
Yeah, I mean, I still think the maid is probably the best one, but, that's just me. Roberta's fucking Fucking awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know much about this show, to tell you the truth. I honestly thought Revy was the main character for just how prominent she was and how in the marketing and the promotional materials. I thought, she was. I didn't realize there was another main character.
Yeah. How do we feel about Rock overall? At least from these episodes.
I mean, I would probably be scared shitless if I was in his position, where if I was just working an office job, and next thing I know, I got a crazy woman threatening to kill me, and I'm kidnapped with a bunch of pirates against my will.
Yeah, threatening to kill you every other minute, almost.
Yeah, I feel like he's a pretty decent audience surrogate.
Yeah, I got a little bit annoyed with his voiceover, though. I don't know what it was about. It was just a little too much.
It's light. It's light.
Yeah, but he's not being light. When you're being light, then the voiceover's really fun. But
Yeah, he's kind of a little bitch.
yeah. But it's nice that the plot constantly points out how much of a little bitch he is.
Yeah.
I definitely was kind of thinking, I'm like, for how your character was portrayed when you first showed up, I feel like this sudden development doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for you. But that's just kind of me.
I mean, from what I've seen in the show, and overall, I think it was just a moment where he just cracked. I think there was always a little bit of some kind of, I want to hurt people boiling under the surface for him, and this just finally gave him an opportunity to just embrace it a little bit.
I mean, I get that, but at the same time, I guess for me, and granted, this is an anime, so grain of salt, but I just feel the transition's just a little bit abrupt, but I feel like maybe if this was just, I don't know, maybe it's because it's only 3 episodes, and I feel like he's kind of, when he's not being an adrenaline junkie, just kind of boring, so the character doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Organically, I guess.
I can see that. He's probably not my favorite character, but,
Who's your favorite character?
Probably Roberta.
Okay.
Or Revy. They're both really good. Mr. Chang's fun, but he's also, not there enough. He's very much a side character. It's also, actually, weirdly enough, almost any woman in this show is just kind of fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So
I really liked Revy. She was cool.
You gotta meet Edda, and you gotta meet, I don't want to call her what Revy calls her, but what is the Chinese girl's name?
Did we get to the... No, because you guys didn't see the Nazis, right?
Nope.
Nah.
So,
I mean, I have.
There's one episode where, Rock and Revy kind of, have it out. And he's like, why are you such a shitty person? And she's like, I kind of had to be, because my childhood was really rough, and I learned how to, run drugs and kill people from a really young age.
Well, she mentioned that in episode 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then he's like, okay, well, I was a slave to my 9 to 5, so we both had it rough. So, maybe chill. And I'm like, oh, okay, you just lost, the no points you had in my book. You're now in the negative, dude.
Yeah, it's real tough when you're, trying to compare your first world problems. The girl I'm thinking of is a Taiwanese assassin employed by Mr. Chang named Shen Hua. How's Hua pronounced in Chinese?
Hua.
Okay, Shen Hua. Yeah, she's pretty awesome. And I think there is an episode at some point, it might be in the 2nd season, where I won't get into it because plot's plot and it's fun, but a bounty is put out and the entire town comes after them.
Oh.
So it's literally every crazy character who murders people in a fun way that we meet throughout the series, everybody's gunning on the same day. Might be the best arc, but there's no Roberta, so that's the problem. She's very dependent on a very singular plot line. It's tough for me to I'm not entirely sure what to talk about because on the one hand, I don't want to spoil things. It sounds like some people want to continue watching this. And on the other hand, I don't have a ton of complaints about this. So I'm kind of glad you guys liked it because I do enjoy this series.
I mean, it's been on my bucket list for a long time, so, finally got a chance to watch it.
trying to think here. Do you guys have any questions or something? I feel like we've run out of things to talk about, and it makes me sad. We're under 20 minutes.
I guess my questions are, like, where all do we go with this? Like, and by go, I mean location-wise.
Location-wise, South China Sea. A lot of stuff in town. There's a few things when they go up country into, like, the jungle. There's an arc where they go back to Japan.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it as far as locations goes. There's a couple flashbacks to some people's backstories in other parts of the world and places. Like, you do get Bella Lyka's backstory at one point. So you see where she's been and the stuff that she's done. But yeah, other than that, it's kept pretty much to there. That being said, I haven't read ahead in the manga, and that has like 2 decades worth of stories in it. So they could probably go to a lot of other places with it.
I have a question.
Sure.
So the manga, do you know if it's like a monthly publication or like how often does it get published?
It's
like a chapter.
It's in monthly Sunday Gene X. So I'm assuming a monthly comic.
Okay.
There's 13 volumes.
Okay.
So if that helps.
I was just wondering, just because, like, I know some manga are weekly, some are bi-weekly, some are, like, bi-monthly, and the thing is, like, how much material is usually, like, dictated by, like, what the publishing schedule is, and then also whether or not the author has taken any hiatuses in the time that they've been writing it. So I was just curious.
Yeah, I'm not sure. How much, like, page-wise, how often is how big is a monthly thing usually?
It really depends on the mangaka and, like, how much material they put into one chapter.
You know what would be hilarious if this was just a 4-panel manga and they somehow made this out of it?
Because I know there are, like, some where, like, the chapters can be really long, but there are others where they're, like, kind of short, so...
I might have to find a thing to read it because of that, or I might continue watching this just because I'm starting to feel it again, you know? Get back into... just have those moments where you get back into an old show.
Yes. Read an old manga.
Yeah.
Fall into the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Obsess over it for, like, 2 years.
Yeah. It's usually nice whenever you find one that's like, oh, it's gonna go for a while, so this obsession can last me a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm trying to think. What would you guys like? Is there, like, other stuff you guys want to talk about here?
I will say Kozi gave this one a nay. Not even like a hard nay, just like a meh nay. A light nay, I guess. She said she couldn't really get into it, so she didn't watch past the first episode, and even that, she wasn't really paying attention, and that's why she chose to sit out tonight. But
I can kind of see it. As far as, like, sometimes when it's like an action thing or something, some people just aren't into certain types of action movies or other stuff like that. So, like, this wasn't her cup of tea. I can absolutely understand that. I think it is one of those, like, properties that's going to be like, if this is your cup of tea, you're going to really like this.
yeah.
Yeah, everyone's kind of has, like, their own sort of tastes. Like, I definitely know that I have specific tastes. And when something's not jiving with the tastes, I'm like, it's not for me.
Was this jiving with you? Because it doesn't really feel like it'd be in your normal wheelhouse.
Honestly, I mean, like, I felt more nostalgic watching it than anything else. And I feel like, and maybe I'm just haven't gotten to certain plot beats yet. Like, I feel like certain things would, like, hook me to, like, get me to continue. Because I did actually watch a decent amount of TV like this when I was much younger. So, I mean, my current wheelhouse is definitely not this, but I've been reading a lot of thrillers lately, so
yeah,
I don't know.
There's 1 or 2 arcs in here that I think might scratch that thriller itch a little bit. Maybe. It is going to lean heavy into action though the whole time. If that wasn't clear already, it should.
Oh no, it's kind of like, for me, it's giving off like reminiscent of like very actiony episodes of Burn Notice, but like crank it up to 11.
Yeah, crank it up to 11, absolutely.
I mean, I don't know if anyone else has seen that show.
Oh,
but
it has Bruce Campbell. I've seen Burn Notice.
it's a good
I didn't
show.
know. I didn't know that had Bruce Campbell in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like the his main guy's
He's
buddy.
like the buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Former Navy SEAL who loves to drink a lot. It's perfect for Bruce
Uh-huh.
Campbell.
It's so great.
Yeah.
But that's nostalgia bias talking, so.
But at the same time, I also feel like that protagonist was also not a pansy. So
No,
probably helps a little bit.
I loved Michael. Oh my god. The one episode where he's pretending like he is the devil and just snapping his fingers and things just explode, and that episode's probably my favorite one that I saw.
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny.
I might have to rewatch that one. I don't normally go for like a lot of like procedural crime dramas anymore, which is kind of what that show was, but the spy element kind of adds a little nice twist to it.
It's honestly like a really decent show, and it takes place in Florida, which makes it great.
Yeah, so it's basically this show, except this show cranks it up to 11.
Yes.
I actually think, and this is one of those things of like, take with a grain of salt, I honestly thought that whenever they wanted to start like making anime into live action movies again, this would have been a perfect one. Like,
Oh, for sure.
nothing for nothing, get George Miller on this and it'd be Mad Max on water. And I'd be like, I'd watch that in a heartbeat.
Why not get John Woo himself to do it?
I feel like it's too on the nose, and I don't know. I really like how George Miller does like really brutal action. Like if you watched Fury Road or like Furiosa, I saw pretty recently, and it honestly held up. Like I was not expecting it to be as good as it was. Mostly, I think the trailers really like made me think it was going to be bad because it looked like there was going to be way more CG, and there was a little more CG than Fury Road had, I think. But like, still really worked well. So, yeah, that'd be my pick. It's Waterworld, but with George Miller in charge, so it would be good, probably. I feel like if we ever wanted to do something, I would like love to do like a month of movies, but like pick a director or something who just has a really weird filmography. Like I think George Miller's perfect for it because he has the Mad Max franchise, Babe 2, Pig in the City, and Happy Feet, and then there's a bunch of others. Like you okay? He's got range. I'll give him that.
Wow.
I don't know. Any other thoughts, or should we go into yays and nays at this point? I'll take the resounding silence as a sure. I'm a yay here. Absolutely. I enjoyed it when I first saw it. I was a little worried, like, it's been like almost 2 decades since this came out. Has it aged poorly? It seems to have aged pretty well for the most part. I think there was a couple things with the language maybe that I'm a little like, I wouldn't use that word anymore, but you know, it still holds up. The action holds up. The characters are still fun. Yeah, I had a good time rewatching this.
Yeah, I would give it a yay as well. I thought it was a lot of fun. I'd be interested in seeing where it goes at some point.
Yeah, I enjoyed what I saw. I think it's still a little early for me to like definitely like say, ooh, yeah. Like, let's see where this goes. Mostly just because, like, I feel like we still have, like, one more episode to go before I feel like things really kick off. So I would give this, like, a light yay.
I'm a yay. I had a lot of fun with it. I was like, you know what? This is exactly what I need right now. Just brain dead, fun as hell action. And this is what I got. And, you know, they could always go deeper with the characters' backstories later on. But for now, it was just, you know what? Fun, action, fun, suspense. And, yeah, so it's a yay for me.
Yeah, I'll give it a yay. For all the previous reasons stated. Like, I kept going with it, and I still might, because I found a seemingly non-sketchy website to watch it on.
Hey, always a good
That
thing
helps.
to hear. Oh, I remember something that I wanted to talk about. So I think the opening here works for setting the tone of the show. How do you guys feel about the ending?
Yeah, what's with it?
Does the ending feel weird to you guys?
It's like ominous.
It is so weird.
It feels like the ending, like that scene leading up to it feels like the start of an ending, and then the song should have started up, and the ending kept going once she pointed the gun at the screen. But it stopped.
Yeah.
It felt abrupt.
It's kind of an abrupt ending, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, why was it in her mouth? She looked like she was actively chomping down on it, and I was like, that cannot be good for your teeth.
Well, by the
I
look of
think
it was a pump-action shotgun. She was likely grabbing the slide with her mouth to cock the shotgun, and was then still not a good idea, because especially
No.
she had a free hand. It's like, why are you not two-handing this thing?
Yeah.
Especially
that,
when her nickname is Two Hands.
Yeah.
especially because by that point she had already gotten rid of her 2 handguns, but then also by that point she was probably carrying the shotgun in her mouth while she had the handguns.
That's not good. Get a sling.
I know.
Alright, if there's like a purpose to that move, then it makes a little more sense, I guess. I thought she was just like stimming with her teeth.
Well, maybe. Who knows? Maybe we read ahead in the manga and we find out. But in the meantime, we got other things to watch for this month. Merica's going back to Merica next month with the story of immigrants, the mafia, train robberies, and literally anything else we can possibly fit into it with Bakano. So,
Yay.
I love it. I can't wait. Has anyone seen that one before?
Me.
Nope.
Don't think so?
Oh, can't wait to talk to you guys about that next week. So yeah, doing that, and then the week after that is our hodgepodge menagerie of random American characters and otherwise non-American-esque shows. So, looking forward to that as well. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!